All right, back from the technical difficulties. What's up? Chiefs Phrase Bolts here, joined alongside AsRaidersDubsSharks and Kanav, because Kanav doesn't have a channel, so we're just going to call him Kanav. If you were one of the 6 viewers on the stream that had to end because I screwed up one of the settings, then welcome back. We should be good now. We should be good. And yeah, let's get right into it, Kanav. We're going to start with you because you're a Packers fan. All right, Rams, Packers. Let's hear it.
All right, but obviously I'm gonna go with Packers. I'm gonna hope like they win, but like I can't count out the Rams. Like Rams number one scoring off or defense, number one points per game, number one point or yards per game allowed. Like it's just you can't rule them out. Aaron Donald, yeah, like he's hurt a little bit, but like when has that ever stopped him? Like Aaron Donald, we like everyone said it. Like right, he's a Terminator. He said, or Sean McVay said it himself, right? The Terminator will be ready. So, like, you can't count out the Rams defense. I do think, however, that the Packers offense will slow the Rams defense down, where it's like they'll still be able to put up points because, like, as everyone knows, right? Number one in the red zone, number two on third down conversions, right? So, I think they'll be able to explode this Rams defense and exploit it because Aaron Rodgers, right? Been in this league for a long time now, has seen so many different defensive schemes. So he'll try to analyze this defense early, see what they're doing, see what they're not doing, and exploit the flaws in their defense, right? Um, that Rams offense, though, is kind of shaky at quarterback position. But I think the main thing they'll try to do is run the ball with Cam Akers and keep the time of possession, right? Keep Aaron Rodgers off the field, which would be a good tactic, right? But I think this defense will be able to step up their game and slow down the run and definitely slow down the pass. I have Packers winning about 28-22.
So, close game then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know a lot of people were like low on the Rams after that Jets loss. I mean, but I've always seen them as like a contender just because of how unpredictable the NFC is. This season in particular, at least, because I mean, if you think about it, the Bucks, they beat the Packers 38-10 earlier in the season. Uh, but the Bucks also lost to the Rams at home. The Bucks lost twice to the Saints. I mean, who else is in it? Well, I guess that's
Carolina.
I guess. Well, no, I'm talking about playoff teams. But I mean, that's just the thing. Is like the Saints beat. Did the Saints play the Packers this year? What was the score of that?
It's 37-30. Packers won.
Okay.
Should have been 37-27, but like.
So you beat the Saints, but you lose to the Bucks. The Bucks lose to. See, basically, the point I'm making is that it feels like anybody in the NFC can beat anybody at any given time.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
So, sheesh, I don't even know. I mean, I got the Packers winning, just because. I mean, it's the Rams, but at the same time, I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams won. I think Jared Goff is healthier than he was last week now. Shout out to JP. He's a Rams fan. Kanav and I know him. So, if he's watching this, which I doubt,
See, but the problem with that thumb is that it's gotten better, yeah, but like now it's gonna be less than 30 degrees. It has a chance to snow, and like surgery, like if you're coming off of any type of surgery, right? And you're getting the snap, you're getting every snap, right? Whether the ball's like hitting your hand hard under center or you're catching it like slightly under or from a shotgun position, right? The cold is gonna affect it. The cold's gonna make it numb. The cold's gonna make it hurt more, right? Not numb, my bad. It's gonna make it hurt more, right? So I think that like his throwing will be affected, especially if there's wind and if there's snow, then it's gonna be highly affected, right? And if the Packers defense can exploit Jared Goff, get to the quarterback, create hits on the quarterback, and make Jared Goff more uncomfortable than he already is, then the Packers have a good chance of winning.
my man's using
Regardless
the
of what
weather
that defense.
factor up in here, man. Yeah, his thumb's
Oh
going to
yeah.
be hurting because it's going to be cold at Lambeau Field on this given day. Hey, Siri, what is the weather in Green Bay, Wisconsin? Anyways. Wow, Siri actually caught that. I was not trying to activate her. Okay. No, I mean I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams won, but as of right now, I got the Packers by 5. I don't know the score, but it's gonna be Packers by 5. Casey.
You know, I put the Rams on this one. You know, they say defense wins championships. I'm just going to go with the upset. It worked last week on the upset. And, you know, I think the Packers are a really, really good team. Don't get me wrong. You're right. The NFC is really inconsistent. And for that reason, I mean, sure, the Rams lost to the Jets, but I don't know. I just feel like the Rams, they're going to utilize that run game, like Kanav said. Cam Akers is showing that he's a really good running back. And also, I think Jared Goff, you know, the reason why, in my opinion, Jared Goff didn't play 100% at the beginning of the game last week was because of his injury. You know, he was 12 days off of surgery. Now it'll be, you know, 19 now or 20 days off of surgery. So for that reason, I just see the Rams winning it. But, you know, it really could go either way. I think the Packers are the better football team, but the Rams defense has shown, you know, sacking Russell Wilson left and right last game. I got Rams by 4, 16-12. The scoring one.
Okay. So
See, I would agree with your point where it's like some of that. I would agree with your point where it's like, yeah, they upset at Seattle, but now they're versing the number one scoring offense, right? A better quarterback, a better run game, better receiver. So now it's just like it's like upping the ante, right? And so now it's the question is like it's Devontae and Ramsey, right? Like Packers fan, I'm gonna go with Devontae, but not only because like bias right there, right? It's because Devontae is the best receiver in the NFL, right? The way he plays isn't physical, right? It's shiftiness. So when he gets off the line, he's not physical up front, right? He's not gonna battle Ramsey with his arms. He's gonna try to create space with his legs, right? And he has the best footwork in the NFL, right? If you see his route running, you see his footwork, you see his agility, everything, right? It's top of the league, right? Because of his shiftiness right at the beginning of the line. So he could create that separation between him and Ramsey. And if he can, I think Devontae Adams could go for over 100 yards and a touchdown. That's my prediction on him this week. 100 yards and a touchdown.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I see your point, but you got to remember what the Rams did to DK Metcalf last week. You know, he couldn't get, besides that touchdown, you know, he really couldn't get anything going. He had that one nice touchdown at the beginning of the game, but I don't know if after that he was dropping passes. Rams were obviously getting in his head, you know. It wasn't just that he wasn't playing well. You know, it was a psychological thing. Rams defense, I don't know. It's just it was electric last week, and I'm gonna be really surprised to see how it is this week.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a crazy good matchup. Number one offense, number one defense.
For sure.
Is that a thing? Number one offense, number one defense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's how they're protecting it right now.
Well, sheesh, man. I don't even know. I'm gonna stay with Packers by 5, but you know I can see the Rams winning this one, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be hella upset, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Rams won.
Okay. Well, the next game we have up here is Ravens versus Bills.
Ooh.
Who's starting us off?
You know, I love Josh Allen.
You go ahead.
I love Josh Allen. I really want the Bills to win, but this was honestly the worst matchup they could have gotten out of the NFC. Just like how Rams was the worst matchup the Packers could have gotten in the divisional. The Ravens were the worst team that they could have gotten. Like if they got the Steelers, easy win for Bills. But now you're looking at a trash rush defense and the number one rush offense in the NFL. Like those two don't add up. You saw Jonathan Taylor and Naheem Hines rip apart this Bills rush defense last week, and now you got Lamar, right? Speed. You got J.K. Dobbins. You got Mark Ingram, right? Like it's not going to be fun for Josh Allen. I think Ravens win this one if they could play consistent. Right? Lamar doesn't have any bad plays. If he doesn't turn the ball over a lot. If he's able to play as good as he has in the last couple of weeks, I think the Ravens would win. As much as I want the Bills to win, how this Ravens offense is playing and how this Bills defense is playing, I don't see. I don't see it being. I don't see it being a good game for the Bills. I think Ravens win it by 3.
Ravens by 3. So that's our first upset of the night. Kanav with that one. Ravens over Bills, because I think the Bills are favorites by like, what, 5 or maybe 3.
Yeah,
Who?
probably.
Okay, so Casey, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I kind of have to pick the Bills because I said last stream that I would see them winning the Super Bowl. However, the Colts game, it was not a pretty game for them. You saw a lot of inconsistencies. They almost lost that game. Like had the time management or the Colts been better, I would have, they probably would have lost, right? However, I do agree it's going to be a pretty messy game in that sense because the Ravens, obviously they have Lamar, and I mean Allen is great and so is Diggs, but you got those sloppy defenses. However, like I said, I kind of have to choose the Bills, and I guess I do see them winning this, but I'm gonna say it's a high scoring game, obviously, because they both have really good offenses. I'm gonna say it's 36-33 Buffalo.
Okay.
No, so you have 3 points in the opposite way.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, 3 out of 4 of these games this week, I think, could go either way. But no, but the Ravens Bills, this is a good game. I mean, I don't know, because the Ravens, God, who'd they play last week? The Titans, and so they beat the Titans. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like for the first half, the Ravens weren't playing that great, and I felt like the Bills were playing sloppy the whole time. But the embarrassing part about the Bills, I was watching that game. The Colts, it felt like the Colts were dropping almost every pass that was thrown at them. Phillip Rivers was making he was throwing overthrows, and dude, I don't even know. So I mean, the fact that the Bills barely won that game against the Colts, who were playing sloppy all game long, it's kind of deceiving because a lot of people thought that they were going to be like the team to beat. And honestly, I said last week in the wild card live stream that I think the only team that can beat the Chiefs in the playoffs this year is the Bills. But after seeing that performance against the Colts, I'm not sure. I'm definitely not as intimidated of them as I was prior to that game. But as for this game, I think it'll be high scoring. 30 to 20 something. I don't know. But I got the Bills over Ravens just because I have to go with the favorite here. Bills over Ravens. They're the home team. I don't know. I think the Bills win by 7 at home.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
That's fair.
See, the only reason, I want the Bills to win, I have them in my bracket. But, my AFC bracket's already exploited because I had the Steelers beating the Browns, and that obviously didn't happen. So, my NFC bracket's still looking pretty good.
Oh, by the way, we should go over our, how we went last week with our predictions.
Yeah.
All right, start us off.
So, the Rams. Let's just talk about that Rams prediction first. We all got that spot on, right?
3 for 3, baby.
Yeah. Brett, I think you had the best prediction out of all of us, or in terms of all of them. You were the most accurate.
I was 5 for 6.
Yeah, I missed 2.
I either missed 3 or 2. I don't remember. I think it goes to show that you look at the Browns over the Steelers. It just goes to show that there's going to be upsets like that. Who knows? We could see it this week.
And that's what I was saying last week, too. There's going to be upsets. I have to pick a couple upsets. And so the Rams, that was my upset.
Yeah.
And so, I figured I'd probably get 1 or 2 games wrong based on, upsets. But, I didn't expect 5-1. I'm happy with 5-1. I mean, I was expecting maybe 3-3, 4-2. I don't know, but I'm very happy with going 5-1. So hold on, what were the games like? Did anybody have the Colts over the Bills last week? I don't think so.
Nah.
I think I was 3 for 3 on day 1, and then I was 1-3 on day 2.
So what were the day 2 games?
I had Steelers over Browns. I had
I had Steelers and Washington. Those are my 2. Those were the 2 I missed.
I had a Titans over
Titans over Ravens. Okay.
So those are my defenses, but yeah.
I mean, so we're just getting that rolling again, So should we? Okay, hold on. I feel like I have to write this stuff down just to keep track throughout these live streams because I imagine we'll be back next weekend too for the championship games.
Yep.
So let me just go ahead and if I can find a pin somewhere, that'd be great. Okay, here we go. All right. I'm gonna write this down. I'm just gonna say F it. So all right? Somebody list me last week's games.
Okay.
I have to find a notebook first. Very unorganized.
You say.
Running late to this live stream. I wanted to do this earlier, and had some stuff come up, and here we are starting it like an hour after I wanted to. So, all right. Got my notebook. Let's see. Wild card. So we have Casey, Kanav, and me. And so, all right. What were the wild card games last week? So it was Browns Steelers. We all had. We all chose the Steelers. I feel like I have to look this up. Wild card scores. Should have done this.
Okay, yeah, I remember I wrote in my phone. I wrote down on my phone on a note doc all of my matchups, so I can tell you from last week. I'm writing the ones this week too.
All right, so we all chose Bills over Colts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we had all three of us had LA over Seattle. And then did all of us have? All right, no. Did both of you pick Washington, or was that just Kanav?
That was just Kanav. I had the Bucks in that.
Okay.
And then we all had the Saints over the Bears, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, speaking of that game, I had predicted a 20-point blowout. I said 30 at first, but then retracted that, said 20. Yeah. It almost happened. Oh, yeah. Drew Brees dove to the end zone, and it was initially called a touchdown, and they reviewed it and determined that it wasn't a touchdown. It was a turnover on downs, and that would have made it a 20-point game. Just saying, I was very close.
And Jimmy Graham with that one-handed catch and then walking in the locker room.
Yeah, I was like, there goes my 20 points, dude. Like it went from like 21, and then like a minute later, it was down to like I don't even know 11. It was like,
I bet you he got fucking raped in the locker room by Matt Nagy. You can't just leave a game in the middle of it, bro. Then they start to kick a little field goal. They had to go to the sidelines. Like I was pissed. You know what he said after the man said after the interview or after the game on his interview? He's like, yeah, no hate to the Packers, but I came to Chicago and all they want to do is win a Super Bowl. Like, he's throwing shade at Green Bay, bro.
Yeah.
Because they lost it. They got blown up by the Saints. It's a wild card. At least we didn't lose until we got to the championship. This guy's throwing shade at us.
Did anybody here watch that game on Nickelodeon?
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, that shit was dumb.
No.
I
That shit was so dumb.
Yeah, the lady, the woman announcer just kept saying, "Hey," and they kept like explaining the rules like over and over. And
Yeah,
You know,
little Sheldon or whatever his name was.
you know what the
Doesn't
best
matter.
part of that game was when the ref turned on his
A
mic
field
and
goal is when you do this.
one of the players just yelled, "Man,
Oh.
what the fuck?" On
Cordero
Nickelodeon for
Patterson.
everybody to hear. That was the best.
Yeah, bro. It's
Yeah.
just funny. So,
All right, who had Tennessee over Baltimore?
that was me.
Casey, bro.
Yeah,
Oh, this peels off.
Okay.
What the hell? What? There's two of them?
We all had Saints,
right.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy choice.
and then we all had Steelers.
Yeah, I don't know. I really thought the Steelers. I mean, in the back of my mind, I thought I some way like weirdly thought the Browns would win. I just never thought it'd actually come true. Like I never thought like they'd actually win.
Yeah,
But hey, they did.
crazy.
So like, kudos, bro. Kudos to them.
For real, yeah.
So hold on, almost done.
Bro, them the Steelers players were salty, bro. Chase Claypool, you heard what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah,
cut
bro, that shit was
next
so
week.
funny. No, the thing
Browns
he
is
said
the
after, like today, he's like, I wouldn't have minded if we lost if they won with some class. Like, bro, you're the one taunting the Browns in the first place, and you're talking about class. Like, bro, you dumb or what? Like Juju
Juju's the one
straight up
doing
went.
Corvette. You know what I mean? Like,
No, not even that. Like
Yeah.
Juju went up and just like the Browns are the Browns, and then Chase Claypool went up to the or Chase Claypool went on interview and went I wouldn't have minded if they won with some class. Like, bro.
Yeah.
It's literally saying the Browns are absolute shit, and then you're saying like they can't celebrate their victory to some like trash talkers. Like, bro, you're so dumb.
I know.
I love when the Browns did the Corvette dance in the locker room after that game.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Dude,
that was
Curry
funny.
was funny, bro.
Yeah, Juju went from like the most like loved guy in the NFL.
Likeable, yeah.
Remember during all the
Most hated.
AB stuff, and like he was like AB called him Boo Boo Schuster or whatever, and everyone's like,
Yeah, bro.
"You're hard." So, like Juju's the nicest guy in the
Everyone
league.
actually. Yeah.
So did all of us?
Everyone liked him, like even off of TikTok. Like he was a nice guy to talk to. And then man started dancing on people's logos, and then like shit went down.
Yeah, you can't be a social media star while being a football player. Like that just doesn't work. I feel like.
I mean, you can, but like there's limits of what you could do. Like you gotta be like careful of what you. Just gotta be careful of what you do. Like you can't give people a reason to hate you. He gave everyone a reason to hate him.
I know. Yeah.
Like it's cool. Like cool if you do it on your own logo, but don't disrespect like other teams. You know, like let it be a damn game.
Games they lost too, so everyone would make fun. Like the Bengals game, the Washington game. Yeah.
Dude, Instagram blew up, bro. I saw this one post where it's like like an actual Corvette, like a car, just like ran over Juju with like tire marks on them, and the caption literally went Corvette.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So do all of us have Packers over Rams?
I have Rams over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
I got Rams over Packers. Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have the Ravens? Because I have the Bills.
I got the Bills.
I got Ravens.
Okay.
I want the Bills, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
So that means one of you two will be wrong.
Wow, who gave you that idea?
All right. All right. Now we're ready. I'm finally caught up on like writing my shit in my notebook. All right. So we just went over the Bills, or not? Yeah, the Bills, Ravens. Now let's just go to the Chiefs and Browns, and I'll start this one off. Okay. This was the best case scenario for the Chiefs. I mean, I thought I thought for sure we were gonna play the Ravens.
Oh, this is big.
There's the
This is a
Corvette.
poster from over there. Shit. Shit, way too funny.
So I thought the Chiefs were gonna have to host the Ravens, and I was not looking forward to that because we always beat the Ravens. And the Ravens, I felt like it was their time, maybe to finally beat us. And I don't know, I wouldn't have liked that matchup. And I mean, yeah, the Browns, first playoff win in 25 years, first playoff appearance in 12 years. And it's just one of those runs where, if you're a Browns fan, yeah, you want to keep winning. But, I mean, you're pretty much already satisfied. It's a stepping stone. You know what I mean? And so if the Browns lose to the Chiefs, I don't think there will be very many pissed off Browns fans. I think it's a good season to be a Browns fan. You're finally back to where you want to be, and you're there, and you're a contender for the years to come. So, I don't think anybody really expects the Browns to go on this crazy, magical Cinderella run where they go off and win the Super Bowl after not making the playoffs in 12 years, not winning a playoff game in 25 years. So, I mean, I don't know. The Browns, they got a deadly running game with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Baker Mayfield's been a lot better this year. He's improved a lot from last season, throwing far less picks than he did. I don't think he's only thrown like 1 or 2 picks since week 8. So Baker's been on fire. Just lost Casey there. There he is.
I just left.
All right. But all right. So to make my case, the Chiefs are the biggest favorites according to Las Vegas. For the divisional round, we're 10-point favorites in this game, and that's pretty realistic. I think the Chiefs, the Chiefs in the playoffs are just. As I think it was JP who said it in the sports chat, they're simply built different in the playoffs, different breed. So I think the Chiefs are winning this one. I think we're winning it by at least 13. But just to give you some stats, the Chiefs in the regular season went 4-0 against teams that made the divisional round. Those teams being the Ravens, the Bills, the Buccaneers, and the Saints. 4-0.
Chiefs also went 30-some% in the red zone. So
Because of trick plays that failed and costly turnovers. And missed field goals. So that's
hey,
that's
bro,
a useless
don't count
stat.
on
Hey, listen. They led all of them at one point in the game by at least 13 and had an average margin of victory of 7.25 points. And by the way, all 4 of those games were on the road. None of those games were played at Arrowhead Stadium.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Thanks, Dad.
I'm just saying.
All right, man.
And on top of that, Andy Reid, coming off a bye week, has an insane record. I don't know specifically what it is, but I think in the playoffs, he's like 5-2 coming off a bye week. So I don't even know how much more I had to state my case. I'm a Chiefs fan, so I'm picking the Chiefs in this game, of course. I think it was a good run by the Browns and all, but I just don't see them winning this week. I just don't. In fact, I'd be surprised if the Browns won this game. So I got Chiefs by 13. Who's next?
I'll be honest. The thing is, the Chiefs have not been good the past couple weeks of the regular season, excluding week 17, obviously. Since week 9, their offense has not been productive as much as they were in the first 9 weeks. Red zone, obviously, was one of the worst for a playoff team that's currently in, right? The worst red zone team. Mahomes completing, I think, underneath 65% of his passes, I want to say. Some of that. I think he had 59 or 59% completion in his week 16 game. I think it was against the Falcons. But he's not looking good the last couple weeks. I mean, don't get me wrong, Chiefs, the favorites, they're going to win it. But I think the Browns could upset, and this is why. My pick for this week is the Browns.
Your pick
Not because
this
I'm a
week is
Chiefs
the
hater. I love
Browns.
Mahomes. He's like a mini Aaron Rodgers. My pick this week is the Cleveland Browns. I'll tell you why. They're more motivated than ever going into this postseason. Because, like you mentioned, right, not a single playoff appearance in like 12, 15 years, something like that. They just came out from blowing out a divisional rival, right? Like their biggest rival, right? Steelers Browns, one of the biggest rivalries in the NFL. They just came off of blowing them like out of the water, right? Mahomes hasn't played in 2 weeks. Rusty. I'm not gonna say that he's hella rusty, but like there's somewhat rush to it, right? Just like a little piece of it. Cleveland's defense, they're gonna get a couple of they're gonna get Denzel Ward back on Tyreek Hill. They're gonna get, I think, their other corner, their other safety back. I think the way the Browns win is time of possession. Like, right, I texted in the group chat earlier today, right? They run the ball down the Chiefs' throats. Chiefs' rush defense is not, it's not bad, but it's not like it's average. You know,
It
like
is
it's like
bad.
it's there.
Well, I
but
mean,
it's
I
not
guess
like
I would say it's average.
it's
But,
it's not it's not there, but like it's not bad either. But like their pass game, kind of the same thing. It's not like amazing, but it's not bad either, right? The way the Browns win this is time of possession, right? They keep Mahomes off the field. They run the ball with Chubb. They run the ball with Hunt. And if it comes to third down, right, either run the ball again or do short passes to Jarvis Landry. Right? Jarvis Landry is really good in like he's in like short patches or short passes, right? Hitches, slants, drag, shallows, anything like that, right? Jarvis Landry is good at them. They got Austin Hooper, right? Baller tight end from Atlanta. So they win this game by keeping time of possession. If they could slow down Mahomes to at least like not score on two of their possessions throughout the entire game, but they could score on every possession of theirs, that's how they win this game, right? Time of possession resulting in touchdowns. Time of possession resulting in field goals, right? Field goals and touchdowns will win this game for the Browns. They cannot afford to turn the ball over. And I think Kevin Stefanski going into this game won't throw the ball as much because he knows that the more time you give Mahomes, the more time it gives him to like screw you up, right? So he's a smart guy. I mean, yeah, but like you can't stop Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is like another breed, you know. Kareem Hunt out of those like screen passes or whatever. I think it's gonna be a good game. People are counting out the Browns because it's like, oh, reigning Super Bowl champions. But I have the Browns winning by 2.
no, people are counting out the Browns because it's the Cleveland Browns. They haven't made the playoffs since. They haven't made the play. No, I said 12 years, right? No, I was wrong. Actually, 18 years because the last time they made the playoffs, I wasn't even 1 year old yet. So, I mean, like, I don't know. It's cute. What they've done is great. You know, they got past their Pittsburgh Steelers division round, but how did they win? Well, 5 turnovers is how they won. Baker Mayfield had what, two drives where he scored a touchdown. So what, 14 points from Baker himself. Every other play came from a Pittsburgh turnover, right? Ben Roethlisberger overthrowing his receivers tipping the ball into the Browns. That first play of the game, it was just a bad snap over Ben's head, recovered in the end zone for a touchdown. No, if they played that game again, Steelers would win. I have no doubt in my mind. That was just, the Steelers were just off all night long. And I'm honestly happy for the Cleveland Browns. I'm happy they won. I wanted them to win because, again, best case scenario for Kansas City. And you do realize by picking the Cleveland Browns, you are saying that the Cleveland Browns, the Factory of Sadness team, is going to make it to the AFC Championship. I'm sorry, my friend. I just don't see it happening. What do you got, Casey?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree about the Steelers thing. I think if the Steelers rematch the Browns, I could very well see the Steelers winning it. Like if they rematch tomorrow, I'd see the Steelers winning it because it just wasn't a good game for the Steelers. It's not that they're a worse team than the Browns. I think they're actually a better team than the Browns. But like you just look at the first play of the game, like that wasn't Big Ben's fault. It was one guy's fault. It was the snapper's fault, the center's fault. So, you know, you look at that, and you also have to remember that the Steelers almost came back. I mean, there were parts in the game when it was like a 12-point game when the Browns were up by 28 in the first quarter. You know, the Browns like kind of remind me of the San Diego Padres in a way. Like they're going to get hyped after this first round win, their first victory in the playoffs in a really long time. And then, I think I'd love to see them win. I think it'd be really cool if they won. But, although the Chiefs have had some inconsistencies like the red zone offense, stuff like that, I do see the Chiefs winning it, but it'll be a close one. I'm saying Chiefs by 10. But yeah, the Browns, I'm glad they won last week, but I wouldn't credit the Browns for all of that. There were a lot of sloppy plays by Big Ben that, could have been successful had he put more effort into it. And obviously that first play, a lot of those interceptions. And I mean, Baker is good, but it's really the run game for them that are pushing them for the top. So for that reason, I'm putting the Chiefs by 10. And they're fresh. Mahomes hasn't played in quite some time. And we all know what happens to Mahomes when he comes off a rest.
51-31. That's all I gotta say. No, but
yeah, but what happened in the first quarter? 24-0, bro.
We led at halftime.
I got 20.
Mahomes led at halftime.
I honestly think that this is gonna be that type of game. Like Browns are gonna pull off to an early lead, shock the world, and then Chiefs will make a comeback.
The difference between the Chiefs and the Steelers is that the Chiefs can come back.
Yeah.
The thing is, okay, you gotta understand that, like even yesterday or even when Browns played the Steelers, right? They didn't have their two starting corners. They didn't have their coach. They didn't have Odell. They didn't have their linemen, right? Like you gotta understand like these things, right? If they had them, the game would have maybe turned differently, and maybe the Browns would have lost. Maybe the Browns would have beat them by more, right? You never know. But I think honestly, like I know, like the Chiefs are gonna win, but like as Brett once said, no, I know. I know the Chiefs are gonna win. I'm not saying they're not. But as Brett once said, every weekend in playoffs, there's an upset. You have to call an upset. I'm calling this upset. Okay. I think the Browns will win this.
Okay.
I mean,
the Browns will win this by 2 points.
I think it's gonna be a little bit opposite of how the game goes. I say Chiefs win it 23-13. I say Chiefs are gonna go out to like a 14-0 lead. Or maybe a 13-0 lead, just for the sake of the score. It's going to be like halftime 13-0 Chiefs. Then I see the Browns like kind of having a rally like in the fourth. Like Chiefs are up like 13-0 and it's 13-7, but then the Chiefs are just going to go off. It's going to be 23-13 final for the Chiefs victory. I'm calling that. I say the Browns. They're going to. Yeah.
Sorry. Well,
yeah,
Kanav, you were saying, that Mahomes hasn't looked good in recent games. I'm gonna debunk that with you right now. Okay, Mahomes' record against playoff teams this year, like I said, was 4-0. His completion percentage was 70.1. His yards per pass, right, on average was 8.1 yards. His touchdown interception ratio for against playoff teams this year was 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. All 6 of his picks this year have come against non-playoff teams. And his passer rating against the 4 playoff teams this year, 118.6.
All right.
So I mean,
I'm not gonna say that Mahomes. All right, Mahomes. Okay, we all know Mahomes, right? Best quarterback right now, arguably the best quarterback of all time. Like people want to make the argument, people can make the argument. I'm not saying Mahomes is bad. I'm saying the Chiefs overall haven't looked as good as they did in the first couple of weeks. Mahomes has always been spectacular. But when you get to these games, right? Atlanta, they won because the guy missed the field goal. Me and you both know come overtime, Atlanta probably would have won. They probably would have snuck out with the victory. The way they were playing, Atlanta had that one in the back. If the guy picked off the interception or if he made the field goal at the end, right? Atlanta would have won that game. And no doubt in my mind. But you can't cut like games this close. This is an AFC matchup. Like they played Denver, right? Their last 9 weeks, they've had a score margin of less than 6 points. Like the difference between them and like their opponents was 6 points. Now you tell me, those last whatever weeks, right? Like 5, 6, or I think it was 9 weeks actually. I don't know. Ever since they played the Broncos the second time, right? How many of those teams have been in the playoffs? The Saints. That's about it. After they beat the Broncos by 6, right? The only team that they played was the Saints, who's currently in the playoffs, and they beat them by 3. Every other team has not been in the playoffs, and they haven't won by more than 6 points. Atlanta, Denver, Carolina, Like you're cutting these games so close where it's like Mahomes can't carry a team to championships. Like you have to have a defense, you have to have the offense to do it, right? But if you're making like back to Mahomes, right? I think he's a phenomenal player, right? Best quarterback in the NFL after Rodgers, obviously, this season.
You had me in the first half. Not gonna
This
lie.
season, this season, this season, this season, this season. Um, you can't try to make shiny plays in the playoffs. Like I know Mahomes, like knowing him, he's gonna try to like show off his like flashiness or whatever in the playoffs, and it's gonna cost him. I'm telling you right now, like he'll probably have an interception this game because of like a stupid thing. Remember what happened to the Dolphins? Those little like rolling out across the body.
Okay, well let's go over
like
those
the
interceptions.
back
Should
foot.
we? Let's go over those interceptions. We did this last week. One of them was tipped off the receiver. One of them was an incredible one-handed grab from
Catch.
Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, and I don't even remember what the other one is. But all I remember was that maybe one of them was actually Mahomes.
You don't want to remember the other one, bro.
But listen. It's the same thing as last year, right? The Chiefs, you question them in the playoffs, and then they just blow teams out. I mean, obviously after going down by margins of at least 10 or more. But, I mean, look, Texans, Chiefs, we win by 20, and we were down 24 at one point. That's insane. We beat the Titans by, I mean, all I'm saying, my point being, the Chiefs in the playoffs are a different Chiefs team than the regular season, and I'm expecting the games not to be as close.
Okay, I do think that's true. Playoffs Mahomes versus regular season Mahomes and playoff Chiefs versus regular Chiefs, right? I think there's a huge difference between those two.
Of course.
But let's take a look back at like history, right? Aaron Rodgers 2011, I mentioned this last week, right? Aaron Rodgers 2011 missed week 17 because they already had the number one seed, right? 15-1, same record as the Charger. Or no, Chiefs are 14-2, my bad. But technically 14-1, right? There's 14-1 the times Mahomes and everyone played. They're 14-1. They were both 14-1. They missed the last week because they didn't need to play. They have a bye week the first time, and now they're playing an opponent everyone doubted. 2011 was the New York Giants against the Packers. Giants came in and won. This year it's the Browns. No one expected the Browns to get this far, right? Hell, no one even expected them to win against the Steelers. This is the documentary of what you're building, right? This is what NFL is about, right? The upsets, the things that you wouldn't like think happen would happen, right? Browns, yeah, it's unreasonable to think that they would win, especially because the Chiefs are so dominant, right? But I'm saying if they could exploit this defense for the weaknesses that Chiefs like obviously have, then this game is not going to be fun. It's not going to be cakewalk for many like people for however many people think it's going to be easy, right? It's not going to be easy. Like whoever's saying, "Oh, Chiefs like they're going to win by 40 plus," right? It's the Browns. Come on, like they're trash. Like Baker Mayfield, garbage. It's not going to be like that. I do think that the Browns have the potential to pull this upset, right? And this week I'm going to be confident in it. Like if I get it wrong, I get it wrong. Like obviously Chiefs are the favorite. If I get it wrong, that's like, oh well, like Chiefs still won, go Mahomes. But like I am confident that the Browns could exploit this defense if they play their offense correctly, right? In the scheme of ways, right? If they play with the run game first and then the pass game, right? I really do think that the Browns could win.
Yeah, and I mean both these teams had really good records, right? But they did have sloppy moments. I don't think that's up for debate. And like, I mean, just saying, like the Raiders beat both of them, but that's besides the point. And like, the Chiefs defense obviously does have some problems with it. And I think if the Browns, they utilize the run game a lot. So if you wanted to make a case for the Browns winning, which you did, Kanav, I think they would just have to, make sure to exploit that defense because, I think it's pretty obvious that the Chiefs defense is underperforming. We look at, I mean, I know I'd take the Raiders game, for example. Obviously that was like 12 weeks ago, but the reason why the Raiders beat the Chiefs is because the Chiefs defense choked. Yeah. No other reason. Like they still put up 32 points on them, but the Raiders put up 40. Same thing with the Browns game, against the Raiders. And I'm just making that comparison because I watched both those games in depth. But I still have but I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. I think Chiefs by 10 or less. I don't see it being more than 10.
I'm gonna do like a little like Fox bet team.
Okay.
I think Browns win or Chiefs win by less than 10. That's what I'm gonna say. I think Browns win or Chiefs. Actually, no, I'm gonna say less than 7. Browns win or Chiefs by less than 7.
All right. Well, I'll just end off this game by saying Mahomes is 4-1 in the playoffs in his career, and his one loss came in overtime. So, next game, Bucks versus Saints.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't see the Saints losing this. I mean, the two matchups they had before, it's been all Saints, and I think it's kind of ridiculous. Was it 38-3 final score in the second matchup? That was a primetime game.
Yeah.
I don't see the Bucks winning. I don't see there being any chance. The other games we're talking about, we have our winners, but obviously they're all going to be pretty close. I see the Saints winning by at least 15, probably 20.
Wow.
All right.
15 or 20.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
You have a that. Damn. All right.
Saints by 15 or 20. My man's making a big call.
Yeah.
Jeez, bro.
Well, I haven't picked an upset yet, and there's most likely I think there's going to be an upset this week. So here we go. This is my upset. I got the Bucks winning this one, and I got a few reasons why. And the first one is that how often is it that you see a team beat the same team 3 times in the same season? It's very, very hard to do. I'm not saying it can't happen because it can, but it's very hard to do. And I don't know if you...
Washington last week.
Yeah? I mean, yeah, it was close against the football team.
they had a 4th string QB, right? Or 3rd string?
It was at one point it was practice squad guy. Well,
This is a 4th string.
Yeah, I don't even know. But it's not about the offense, it's about the defense. The Bucks haven't played that great against good defenses this year, and the Washington football team had a top 10 defense. So, I mean, I get it, 4th string quarterback, whatever. But, I mean, the Bucks they haven't been great against good defenses this year, and the football team definitely had a good defense. So, you know what, I don't know. I know Breeze is motivated because he's all likeliness is probably his last season. But I think Brady also wants revenge on Breeze. If you didn't see, after the Bucks beat the Washington football team, Tom Brady actually posted a video on social media, and he was saying, "Hey, we got the W, right?" He said, he asked the viewers, "Who do you guys want to play?" I think I know, and I'm telling you right now, he was definitely referring to the Saints.
Talking about the Saints.
Brady wants Breeze. And, they beat the Bucks 38-3, and in Tampa earlier this year, it's not going to be that close again. I say not that close. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that wide open again. And I got to go with an upset. So I think this is my upset of the week. I got the Bucks winning this one.
Well, this is I honestly don't know. I don't know which way this game's gonna go. Honestly, this is the best game of the weekend. It really could. That's the thing. There's no clear cut favorite. People be saying oh, the Saints are favored in this game by 2. No, they're not. This game, you cannot have any. There's no reason to have a favorite in this game. Both teams are exceptional, right? This is the matchup of the week, right? Brady versus Breeze, Bucks versus Saints, right? Both are 2 top 5 defenses, 2 top 5 scoring offenses, right? This is the game of the week. I honestly don't believe that there should be a favorite in this game, but because I have the Packers winning, I really would hope the Saints win, because I'd honestly rather face the Saints than the Bucks, because we beat them once this year without Devontae Adams. We beat them once without Devontae Adams. With Devontae Adams would just be another thing, right? So I want the Saints to win. I think they will win it, just because Brady's offense, right, has been clicking, but when they get pressured, right, when Brady gets pressured, he chokes under pressure. I remember what happened at the Rams game. He had so many bad throws because of Aaron Donald and Fox and Leonard Floyd, Brockers, all these people, right? They got in his face and Brady couldn't make the proper throw, right? Because and also because of Jalen Ramsey and Darius Williams. But this Saints defense, right? It's better than Washington's defense, 100%. And
Yeah.
Bucks barely pulling out. I'm not gonna say barely pulling out a win, but it was kind of pulling out a win, like out of random against Washington. Washington should have won that game, and should have, would have, could have. I knew, like, there was not at one point in the game where you thought Washington could win, apart from when they had like a two, when they were down two only. If that defense could have gotten a stop, then I think Washington could have won. But I didn't think at one point that Washington would ever win. I just wanted them to win. That was
Yeah.
my playoff bracket.
I mean, I
But
think the theme
Saints,
of these teams.
Saints.
Oh, sorry.
Go
Go ahead, sorry.
So like the Saints, like they're gonna stop Brady, right? Washington couldn't stop Brady, right? The corners are, they're not good, but they're not good, but they're not bad either, right? They're average. Their D line is amazing, right? But Saints D line I think is better. Trey Hendrickson, Cameron Jordan, those two are gonna blow up the pocket, right? I think that it's gonna be, if it's anything like the Washington game, the Saints will pull out the victory because I know the Saints defense will stop Brady, right? You got Jackrabbit. Who else is there? You got Jackrabbit. Marshawn Lattimore. Um, Marcus Williams. I think he's on the team. Something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. Let's say secondary off the top of my head. But if you have those type of players, right, they will stop Brady and they'll stop receivers from getting open. We saw in these first two matchups, right? Secondary played exceptional for the Saints. Right, 38-3 was the blowout in the first game, and then I think it was like a 12-point win in the first game. So I have the Saints winning, not because I need them to win, but I do think they will win for a third time this season.
Okay.
Saints are just a better matchup against I think there's just a better matchup against the Bucks. It's like saying Chiefs Chargers, right? We'll go back to like a better example, right? The Chargers are not good this year. But it's like you just know who's gonna win, right? Like Bucks have never beat Saints unless like the Saints somehow choke, right? In the past couple of years. They played twice this season, and I don't think Bucks have won. They probably won one out of those last 3 seasons. It's just written, like it's just like on a scroll. Saints beat Bucks every game, right? So it's like I think the Saints will win again.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks. This could honestly go either way.
All right. And
Yeah,
you were just
and I think like
wow, all three of us trying to talk at the same
I think
time.
like a theme with the team. It's like, you look at all these teams in this bracket. Every one of these teams. I think whoever wins the Super Bowl, you could make a case for any of these teams winning a Super Bowl, but I think the team that will make the Super Bowl is the team that wants it the most. Like the Rams, they want revenge. They lost the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago. Rodgers wants another ring, right? Lamar hasn't really been in the playoff relevancy ever. The Bills haven't won a playoff. Well, they just got their first playoff win in a quarter of a century. Browns, likewise, pretty much with that. The Chiefs have that pressure to defend their title. The Buccaneers, they just got Tom Brady, and they want those high expectations. And Drew Brees wants to win that second ring. So I think all of these teams equally want it the most, and I think whoever just shows that grit is gonna be the Super Bowl winner. That's why I think you could honestly make a case for any of these teams winning it, no matter the odds or seeding. I think all these teams have a pretty good shot.
Any team except for the Browns. I mean, you have to remember they are the Cleveland Browns. I mean, even if they go on, right, and they beat the Chiefs, I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. It's the Browns. How are you going to expect them to not make the playoffs for 18 years and then just magically win the Super Bowl their first time back in the bracket? No, it's a cute story, not going to happen. Kanav was just talking about the Bucks game, right, against the Redskins. What football team, Redskins, but the thing is, right, with that, it was like, yeah, the Bucks don't do well against good defenses and the Redskins. They had a good defense. And I don't really know where I was going with this. I had something on my mind, but it just kind of like flew off into space. So I don't really know where I'm going with this. But oh yeah. What I was gonna say was, in my opinion, I mean that's probably one of the most anticlimactic ways I think I've ever seen a team end their season. You have Alex Smith coming back from a life-threatening injury surgery. He was told he was never gonna play football again. You know, the football team is not expected to go anywhere this season. You know, and then Alex Smith comes back and he plays a couple games, gets some wins. Alex Smith gets them to the playoffs just for him not to even start in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, like...
That is pretty anticlimactic.
I mean, I was just like, really? That whole storyline, all season, you lead them to the playoff... No. Just not even going to play. I'm injured. I'm hurt. Can't do it. No, but without a doubt, Kanav, I can't hear you, by the way, if you're trying to talk. I can't hear you. But, you know, I just...
I'm on mute. Oops. I was on mute.
No, but, like, it's just...
All right, let's,
Yeah.
Who do you got? You got Bucks winning?
Yeah, I got Bucks winning.
Casey, you got Saints, right?
I got New Orleans, yeah.
So I just went... I went over...
Two
all
on
of our
one.
predictions, right? None of us agree 3 for 3 on any of these games.
On any game?
On any games. There's
Except for the Rams.
There's one disagreement. No, Casey, you said you have LA winning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I meant like last week. Never mind. Yeah, you're right.
I'm
you're
talking
right,
about this week. I'm talking about this week. Yeah.
Yeah, we have no real... Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, none of us are 3 for 3. So people will be wrong. That's guaranteed.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
But it's just who's going to have the best predictions.
100%. Yeah. That's going to be a good week of football, bro. It's going to be a good week.
It's going to be a great week.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm going to be, you know, I go to Orlando tomorrow night. I'm going to be there Saturday. And, of course, I have to wake up early on Sunday so I can drive back home for the Chiefs game. I'm not missing that for the world. But, no.
Wait, why are you going to Orlando for, like, a night?
I don't know, dude. Tyler invited me, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? So, no, but it's like, no, I'm going to be, like, we're going to be trying to do shit. I'm going to be just pulling out my phone every other second, just, like, watching the games on my phone, dude, like, literally. But, no, I'm looking forward to it.
You can't miss play. You just can't. I mean, see, okay, going back to that Browns-Chiefs, because I really want to, like, you're counting at the Browns, right? You know, Lamar erased his narrative for not being good in the postseason, right? Cleveland has erased their narrative for being a suck-ass team that hasn't made the playoffs in, like, 20-plus years, right? Like, it's a possibility they win against the Chiefs. Like, Baker Mayfield, I'm not going to say he's better than Mahomes. He's nowhere near Mahomes' level. That Browns offense...
They just have a strong run game.
Okay, they have a strong run game. They have a good O-line to protect Baker enough. They have the best O-line in the NFL. Like, highest graded line in the NFL. But if Baker doesn't turn the ball over, if he holds the time of possession, there's going to be a big upset for a lot of people. Like Dog Pound Nation, bro. They'll be wild, bro. They'll pull a Bills Mafia and just like jump on burning tables if they win against the Chiefs.
If the Browns beat the Chiefs,
for real.
If the Browns beat the Chiefs, this will be like one of the biggest upsets I think in recent playoff memory. I mean, other than probably since the Giants beat the 16-0 Patriots in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm going that far. And I will. If the Chiefs lose, I will take that more personally than when the Lightning got swept in 4 to the Blue Jackets. Like, literally, I would be so pissed off for a long time. But, you know, as one wise man on Twitter once stated, I don't remember his name, but I thought it was a clever quote.
Yeah.
You can take the Browns out of the factory of sadness, but you cannot take the factory sadness out of the Browns.
That's hilarious.
And so yeah, they could win any given Sunday. That's why that quote exists, because you can't ever rule any team at any given point out of a game. You know, any team could win on any day. But
Yeah.
I think if the Browns winning this game would be too much too soon. Haven't made the playoffs in 18 years. You get a win, which was already way more than people expected you to do. So I feel like it would. I just feel like it's not right. It's just not right if the Browns go that far that soon into like the recovery process.
Yeah. I mean, to your point, like put the you put the Jets in this playoff bracket, and I could see, they very well could win. That's just the way the NFL works. It's one game.
They're not gonna win.
I don't know, man. They beat the Rams. They beat the Rams.
Yeah. They beat the Rams. Dude, regular season, no team gives a fuck about how like strong they play. Playoff time is when every team plays to their best potential.
Exactly.
If the Rams played to their best potential against the Jets, they would blow them out like 50 to nothing. The Rams like sucked ass against that game because they didn't play like 100%, bro. That's what the Jets took advantage. It's like the Rams played at like half their strength and Jets went all out. That's why they won. Like if both teams are going all out, the Jets are gonna fucking die. Just a worse team.
My man's going off on the fucking Jets right now.
Dude,
no, like literally.
Dude, Casey threw in the Jets saying they have a chance to win. No, they don't.
Bro, they have a chance to beat the Rams in the playoffs, maybe. No, really, honestly, maybe the Browns, any team, they have a chance of winning, except unless it's against the Chiefs, in my opinion. I mean, the Chiefs.
And if you went back to last week,
goes on about the Chiefs.
Man, last week I didn't get to talk about the Chiefs because we had the number 1 seed, and you didn't get to talk about your Packers either. So I'm finally getting to talk about my team. I'm gonna go all out, man.
Brett's team's like the worst team, or any team could be the best until they play the Chiefs.
No, listen.
Any team could get to any team could go to the Super Bowl until they play the Chiefs. It's always until the Chiefs with Brett, bro.
Oh my God, bro. No, I'm telling you, the only team that beats the Chiefs in the playoffs is the Chiefs. That's the end line. The Chiefs have to make enough mistakes for them to actually lose.
Tom Brady.
The Patriots game, it was that offside. It was that offsides call. That was really what made them.
No, that was just back-to-back bullshit, right? D Ford lining up offside, but at least we got it to overtime. Oh, what is this BS I see in front of my face? The Patriots win the coin toss. We have one of the worst defenses in recent memory, led by Bob fucking Sutton, that asshole who doesn't know how to run a goddamn defense. I was so happy. So happy when they fired him. I celebrated so hard. No, but like when the Patriots won that coin toss, man, I knew the game was over. I just knew the game was over.
I don't like the overtime rules. The overtime rules are kind of gay.
They're
like,
broken.
Low-key, like,
they're broken.
It's dumb.
Dude.
Like it is.
Yeah.
It literally is. Like I think that like overtime should be like, oh, even if you score a touchdown, you get a chance. You get a
redemption drive.
It's just like. Yeah, or you play until the last 10 minutes. Like, quarters are 15 minutes, you cut it down to, 8-minute quarters. Or you, like, an 8-minute
just add
overtime.
an extra quarter or something, man. Just, like... And
exactly.
I don't...
It doesn't even have to be a full quarter, bro. It could be, half a quarter.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing is, I don't think there should be ties in the NFL.
No way.
No, I don't think that either. It's so hard to get a tie, though. It's so hard to get one, though.
I mean, they made the standings...
Yeah, there's been one tie this season. I think that was the Eagles and Lions. Or something like that. I don't know. I think honestly, years to come, the overtime rules will change where it's like they'll get an 8-minute quarter to whoever wins whoever wins the quarter wins the game. It's basically a normal quarter of football, but just 8 minutes instead, with 2 timeouts. I honestly think in the next 10 seasons that'll change. Because there's overtime rules everyone hates. Everyone hates overtime.
It's crazy.
There's not one person. Unless you're the team with the ball, everyone hates the overtime rules.
Well, it's just crazy because Mahomes would be 6-0 in the playoffs in his career if they had different overtime rules.
Maybe 7-0 because of the Super Bowl.
Well, that's what I mean. It's because you had to play the Divisional, the championship, and the Super Bowl, and that's... Yeah, he's done. That would have been 6 games, so 6-0. That's what I mean.
Bro, I missed
Yeah.
I missed a point, bro. I'm gonna pull a Brett on the overtime rules. Like every offense is happy when they get the coin toss in overtime, unless you're the Packers, which fumbled
Unless
the
you're the
ball.
Packers. Unless you're the Packers. Wow. Nah, man. Bro. I'm telling you,
Fumble.
if our two teams make it against each other in the Super Bowl this year, which is like the favorite right now, that's what I think it's going to be personally.
Yeah.
I mean, should we even
It's
do a
gonna be
live
good.
stream? I just feel like we're just gonna be talking shit to each other for an hour and a half, dude. But
Yes, back.
no, it'd be so funny though, cause like one of us would be heartbroken and pissed off after the game, but yeah, I don't know.
For real, bro.
I'm still salty that I lost that MVP bet against you, and I just really want the Chiefs to win. Not only because I want to see my team win, but because I want to see you get a Mahomes cut. Man, that would be like a soul to injury right there. If the Chiefs beat the Packers in the Super Bowl, and on top of that, you lost a bet. That would be horrible.
Damn, that would suck. Huh?
Yeah.
Why? You moving in the garage? Okay, yeah, but like, actually, where was I going with this?
All right, Casey, you got anything?
Shit, I was gonna think of something.
Yeah, I mean,
a little.
yeah,
Go.
the thing is like, I don't know, if you look at previous years, Mahomes is obviously like the best QB in the playoffs, but like, I just feel like maybe not the Jets, but you could put, pretty much any team in this bracket, and there could be a slim chance that they could win because, like, pretty much every game we've talked about so far, excluding maybe the Buccaneers. Oh, actually, no, yeah, all of them so far. They're all going to be close matchups, and I think Mahomes. I think there's a pretty much, in my opinion, a very good chance he's going to win against Cleveland, but I don't know. I mean, it's going to be tough, and like, who knows if Buffalo's been hyped up the whole year. Who knows if they even beat Baltimore just based on last week when people get in the playoffs? It's some teams play better. You look at Cleveland. Some teams play worse. I mean, I'd take the A's for example, totally different sport, but the A's like literally every year losing the wild card or the divisional for that reason. They choke under pressure. You could say that for a lot of teams. It's been that way for the Bills in the past years. But yeah, I just think some teams choke and some teams prosper. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, going back to Packers Rams real quick. This is my thought that I almost lost. I think honestly, if the Packers if they blow out this Rams defense, I'm not even gonna say like if they barely win, right? If they blow out this Rams defense, they're gonna be the Super Bowl favorites, like automatically. If you could exploit the number one defense in the NFL, they're going to Super Bowl like easily. Your offense is just gonna like carry you to the Super Bowl, and like even if they win like a close game, right? And you have that confidence that like, oh damn, like I just beat the number one defense in the NFL, like Sage defense, Bucks defense, right? They don't scare me anymore because like now like we're capable of beating the number one defense, right? So we should go out and beat the number 3 defense or the number 4 defense or whatever defense they're ranked, right? I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be a close game. I have Packers by I think I said 3. No, I said 7. It's the Packers 28-21. Yeah. No. 26-22. That's what I had it at. I think. Honestly, it could go either way. Because remember, like, everyone said, oh, the Titans were going to beat the Packers, right, up in Lambeau Field on that snowy day. They're going to be like, oh, they're like every analyst I could think of, they're like, Titans are going to go up there. They're going to run the ball down the Packers' throat. Derrick Henry's going to get 200-plus yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill is going to, like, demolish this defense, right? It literally went the complete opposite way. It went Packers blowing out the Titans. So I think if they could beat them, either in a blowout or like anything, like I think the Packers win. I think Packers win. I think Packers go to the Super Bowl if they beat the Rams this week.
All right. Well, I got a question. When are you starting a YouTube channel, Kanav?
Dude, I don't think I wanna. See, I don't go on YouTube that much. I just watch I just watch ESPN analysts. Like I don't post. Like I have no I have no motivation to post. You know.
All right, I have a hot take.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, the winner of the Chiefs
No.
versus Browns
Oh
game
boy.
is automatically in the Super Bowl. Okay, probably gonna win it. And I'd say the winner of the Packers Rams game
Bro.
represent the NFC.
All right, Casey.
No. If the Rams,
I don't see how.
If the Rams beat the Packers, the Rams are not going to the Super Bowl
No.
regardless.
My man
They're gonna
Casey's
lose to the
telling
Super
us
Bowl.
that there's a chance that LA plays the fucking Browns in the Super Bowl. Wait, no. I can't see that, dude. No, basically what you're saying, right, is the Super Bowl will be Packers Chiefs because I don't see those two teams losing.
I mean, yeah, if you look at it that way, yeah. If you look at it that way.
No,
Here's the thing. Browns beat the best.
Dude, if you said this at the beginning of Wild Card Weekend, we'd all call you dumb.
Yeah, if I said that on Wild Card Weekend, it'd be different. But first they beat the Steelers, and if they beat the arguably best team, the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't know how they'd lose the following week to who? Either tomorrow.
Oh, no. If they beat the Chiefs, they go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that. That take I do agree with you. If they beat the Chiefs, they go to the Super Bowl. Like that part I do agree.
Okay.
When you said the Rams are going to the Super Bowl, that part just threw me off.
No.
That's like
Kanav,
if the Rams beat the Packers.
you're saying you'd
No,
be
yeah, I
more
know. If the Rams
surprised
beat
if
the
the
Packers,
Rams
they
made
beat
the
the
Super
Saints.
Bowl?
I thought it'd be the other way around because the Rams are actually.
I'd be more surprised if the Rams made the Super Bowl.
But the Rams were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, though. But like you cannot tell
Yeah,
me
but
that the
now they're playing
Cleveland
the
Browns
Saints
are
and
going to be in the Super Bowl this year.
I'm
Again,
not saying
we're
they
talking.
will.
They have a
If
good
they-
season. Do we just suddenly forget that they're like literally one of the most depressing franchises in all of sports?
I don't know. I mean, I don't see them losing either Buffalo or Baltimore. Like, I don't think they're going to beat the Chiefs, but like in a world where they do, that's in my opinion like Super Bowl contention, beating the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the Steelers.
Yeah, like if they beat the Chiefs, if they arguably the number one team in the NFL, if they beat them, I think they win in the AFC Championship. I think they go to the Super Bowl. Obviously, they're going to lose to the Super Bowl.
On the Rams,
I think they make it to the Super Bowl.
on the Rams side of things, the Rams
Look. You deny this now, but think about it like this. I'm like raving about the Browns' run defense, right? Which team in the AFC currently, right now in the playoffs, has a good rush defense? The Bills, garbage. The Chiefs, garbage. Ravens, eh. Like they gave up like 170 yards to Derrick Henry and like 2 touchdowns, touchdown in overtime. Right? No teams left in the AFC have a spectacular rush defense, right? But you go to the NFC, Bucks front 4, Rams front 4, Saints front 4, like these defenses will stop the run. If the Browns beat the Chiefs, the number one team, if they're able to slow down Mahomes on offense, if they're able to put up points on offense, their offense, and they're able to stop Mahomes on defense, the Browns have the best chance of getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's simple. They could stop Josh Allen throwing. If they could stop Mahomes, they could stop Josh Allen. Come on, Brett, you got to agree on that one. If they could stop Mahomes, they could stop Josh Allen.
On the Rams side of things,
Come on, bro.
No.
Here's
No.
my-
It's the fact that it's the Cleveland Browns. Like all stats and analytics aside, it's the Cleveland Browns. Like that's just my thing.
Mahomes though, like if they beat Mahomes, I don't see them losing to Josh Allen and or Lamar.
Or Lamar Jackson, yeah. Like
Okay,
Mahomes is
the
the
Rams-
quarterback. How
This
does
is
that
why I said
how does that confidence Mahomes? I want to hear your
Here's the Rams thing.
Why you think the Rams will make Super Bowl?
Okay, if the Rams play the Buccaneers, let's say they beat the Packers and they play the Buccaneers, they've already shown they could beat the Buccaneers. They didn't destroy them, but it was not the defense. Tom Brady couldn't do anything. Saints, I could see them pulling an upset against the Saints. Is it going to be on a no pass interference call? Who knows? I mean, But like like if they beat the Packers and the Seahawks, you got to look at the previous weeks. If they beat both those teams, I think they very well could beat the Saints. However, we got to see if they beat Green Bay. That's why I think they could easily beat the Buccaneers. Saints, it's a possibility, and that's why I think the Rams, if they win that game, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, you say easily, but think about it like this, right? When they played the Bucs earlier this season, they had a healthy quarterback at Jared Goff, right? They had a healthy running back. They had a healthy D line. They had a healthy receiver, right? Cooper Kupp was completely healthy. Now you come in against the Bucs. Jared Goff has like one hand right now, and that's definitely not his throwing hand. Aaron Donald's got a no. This next week, not this Sunday. The following Sunday.
Oh right. You're right.
Yeah, like how much can a week? Yeah, it will help, but like it can't fix a broken thumb. It can't fix your rib like cartilage like torn or whatever. Like Aaron Donald has a torn rib cartilage or something like that. It can't fix that in a week. Like yeah, maybe you get better, right? One hit to it, or like one helmet to it, or like one like fall on it, you're back out of the game. Cooper Kupp, you hit a knee on like something else, you're out of the game. Rams were healthy when they beat the Bucs, right? And Brady was still getting adjusted to this offense, right? The Bucs are probably the scariest team in the NFC right now because I think they're the most complete team in the NFL right now, defensively and offensively. I think these past couple of weeks they've shown they're the most like overall the best team in the NFL. Will they win? I don't think they'll win against the Saints, but like you never know. Like you can't bet against you can't favor one of these teams because there's no like favorite like option. But Rams Bucs again, right. I think the Bucs will win, especially because Bucs are home again. The Bucs have a home field advantage. They do have fans, and the Rams are just broken. Like no quarterback, you're gonna lose the game.
Yeah, I mean,
it's simple.
But then we look at the Packers, and like I said, the winner of that game. I picked the Rams to win, but I very well could see the Packers winning. I think, despite losing to the Buccaneers earlier this year, I think the Packers could probably beat them. And the Saints, I don't know. I haven't followed the Packers all too much this year, but I think my prediction, like, it might have a loophole with the Rams, but I think it's like, I don't know, like you said, the Cleveland Browns making the Super Bowl does seem crazy. However, I think if you beat the Steelers in the wild card and put up a bunch of points on them, and then you beat the Chiefs, I see you being a contender.
Oh, 100%. And arguably a favorite to be a contender.
Yeah.
Because if you could beat Mahomes, if you could stop Mahomes throwing the ball, you could definitely stop Josh Allen. You could stop Lamar Jackson. It's simple. Like, if you stop Le'Veon Bell from running, if you stop Darian Williams or whatever his name is, you could stop J.K. Dobbins. You could stop maybe Lamar Jackson. I'm not going to say they're like the same like caliber, but if you could just get a feel, because Le'Veon Bell is not a bad running back, right? He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hilaire, I think Hilaire's out for the rest of the season.
No, he's practicing.
And, Williams, right there. He came back in the playoffs, right?
Hilaire's been practicing, so there's a possibility he starts this week.
Yeah. So Hilaire, right? Like, I'm not gonna say like Hilaire and Chubb are on the same level, or like Hilaire and Lamar on the same level at running, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're able to just get a feel of like how they run the concept, right? Then like I guess you could stop them. If the Browns win the Chiefs, or if they beat the Chiefs, I have them going to the Super Bowl. This is simple. Like Casey made a good point, right? Before Casey thought of it, I wouldn't have said that. That's like saying, okay, let me put this in perspective for you. That's like saying 2018, the Chicago Bears were the Chicago Bears.
No, not really. The Chicago Bears.
And they went 14, and then they went 13-3 in their season.
The Chicago Bears didn't go on a
like
17-season playoff drought. Chicago Bears.
They didn't win one.
It's not like.
I mean, they always lost the division though to the Packers.
Well, weren't they
in every year before that? They lost the division.
Or at least were they in the NFC Championship against the Packers a couple of years ago, and the Packers won the Super Bowl?
They went in 2000.
Back in 2010. That was 10 years ago.
They played. They lost to the Colts way back when.
No, they lost to the Packers. In the Super Bowl. I don't know when the last time they went to the Super Bowl. The time they went to the Super Bowl, they had Brian Urlacher.
Yeah,
that's all I remember. But like in his prime, that was a long time ago.
And also, going back to the other hypothetical option, Chiefs beat the Browns. I mean, I guess you're one. Like, they're not losing to the Ravens if the Ravens win. I just don't see that happening. They decimated them in the regular season. I mean, I guess I could see a scenario where the Chiefs lose to the Bills. But if the Chiefs win that, they're pretty much making it. And same thing with the Browns, but, that's a different point.
All right, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way right now.
This week's going to be good.
All right, I just want to hear you guys on this. I want to get out of the way right now. Is the NFL champion this year, the Super Bowl winner, going to be an AFC team or an NFC team?
NFC.
Wow. I'm going AFC.
AFC.
Based on my hot take, I feel like it's stronger.
This is so biased. This is so biased.
That's
an AFC team.
Look at the teams in the playoffs, man. Team, look at the teams, man. The Rams.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Nah, you're saying NFC because you're a Packers fan. I mean, that's...
Okay, no, even apart from the Packers, NFC has more complete teams. Apart from the Rams, obviously. But, like, Saints, Bucks. Whichever team comes out of those, if the Packers don't make the Super Bowl, fine, I don't care, bro. I'm still supporting the NFC. Reason being, they are the best. They're the most complete team. Saints with the healthy Drew Brees would have beat. Saints with the healthy Drew Brees would have beat the Chiefs. I honestly think they would have. Brees literally,
all these teams,
Brees had like 3 interceptions and like completion percentage of 30%, and they still won by only 3 points. Like, bro, the Chiefs would have lost with the healthy Brees. Bucks almost came back against the Chiefs too. If they didn't put Carlton Davis, if they put Jamal Dean on Tyreek Hill would not have gotten 200 yards in the first quarter. He wouldn't have. Jamal Dean's their fastest corner, and they decided to put Carlton Davis, one of their slowest corners, on the fucking speed ninja. Like the NFC is just like a more complete team. AFC is like an offensive powerhouse. I mean, much we could all. AFC teams left are a bunch of offensive powerhouses. Ravens in the rushing game, Bills in the passing game.
I think your point is don't necessarily need a complete team. Because, look at last week. You got to remember, all these teams, excluding the Packers and Chiefs, won playoff games last week, and they won it for a reason, right? It wasn't because they had complete teams. I mean, I do agree, complete teams are better. But when it comes down to the Super Bowl, this is a one-game thing. I just think the better team would win necessarily, and I think in a lot of cases, the better team is the more complete team. However, if I see a matchup, let's just pull one out. If I see a matchup, Buffalo Bills, Buccaneers, the Buccaneers might be more complete, but I would still say the Bills are winning that.
Okay, but think about it then I'll take that point and think about it like this, right? You have Josh Allen on that one side of the ball, right? But then you have an elite defense on the other side of the ball. Who are you going to bet on? You going to bet on Josh Allen, or are you going to bet on an elite defense to slow him down?
And that's why I picked the Rams this week.
But then you also got to flip it in that scenario. Would you pick a weak Buffalo rush defense and an average pass defense, or would you pick Tom Brady with Ronald Jones Jr. and the best offensive wide receiver weapons in the NFL? These complete teams win games. It's like it could. It's like a 1-game thing. Like a lot of upsets happen, but complete teams are more favored, right? Any team out of the NFC. A top 5 offense, a top 5 defense, except for the Packers and the Rams. They don't have a top 5. It's 7 points. Packers have a top 1 offense, and Rams have a top 1 defense, right? The counterparts are not good, right? Rams offense is I think 15th, and Packers defense I think is 8th overall or 12th overall, something like that. And then Saints top 5 offense, top 5 defense. Bucks top 5 offense, top 5 defense. AFC you go Chiefs top 3 offense, defense probably in the 10s area. AFC or Bills top 5 offense, and top 3 offense actually. Defense probably in the 10s. Baltimore Ravens top 5 offense, number 1 in rushing offense, top 5 defense I would say, and then the Browns probably a top 7, top 8 offense, and then a 10s low 20s defense. So you'd rather have a team that's top ranked in both sides of the ball than just like with their counterparties, right? You put Lamar Jackson against the Saints, right? He's not going anywhere because that Saints front four can stop the run like easily, right? They could stop the run easily. Even if Lamar wanted to throw, right? You got Marshawn Lattimore, you got Jackrabbit, you got all these people in the secondary, right? It's just no way that any AFC matchup you do, I don't think an AFC team would win. Apart from maybe the Chiefs and the Rams, I think Chiefs would dominate.
But so, like, if you look at past Super Bowl, right? Like, the team with the better defense has lost, right? Like, the Niners lost to the Chiefs. Look at the year before that. The Rams had a crazy defense that year, and they lost to the Patriots. The only one I can think of is the Broncos at Super Bowl 50. But, you know, you look at – and also you look at the Seahawks. They lost to the Patriots. I mean, obviously, they won it the year before, but I think it
okay.
Either way, but usually the team with the better offense does win it. However, I mean this year's different though. So
think about it like this. Hold up. Okay. You remember Seahawks Broncos? I'll give you a perfect example. Remember Seahawks Broncos?
Yeah.
Broncos that year, I think they had the best offense in the league or the top 3 offense, right? But their defense wasn't exceptional. Then you look at the other side of the ball. Russell Wilson, top 3 offense in the league, top 3 defense in the league, because back then the Legion of Boom existed, right? What happened in that game? Russell Wilson blew him out of the water.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson blew him out of the water. It was 43-8. Like, a more complete team wins. Like, you can't have a top 3 offense versus a top 3 defense. Yeah, it's going to be an amazing matchup. But when you get a top 3 offense and like a suck ass defense, it's just going to be points. Like,
that's true.
But, like, it's going to result in a lot of points. Like, yeah, that goes back to offense wins game. But look at the other side of the ball. The defense is like disgusting. Like, it's gross. Like, the Saints versus Bills, I think the Saints would win. Why?
Yeah,
Bills don't have a good defense. Saints could exploit it. Tampa Bay versus the Browns. Tampa Bay would win. Tampa Bay versus the Ravens. Tampa Bay would win. Tampa Bay versus the Chiefs again. Tampa Bay would win. Just because offense defense combined. Until they unless they're the Chiefs. Until they beat the Chiefs. Then they come to the Chiefs.
No, that game was not as close as the score showed.
No, but you look at the Browns. You look at the Browns Steelers last week. Who's the more complete team in that though? That's the Steelers, right? I mean, they got one of the best in the league. They got
I'll give you that one. Yeah, that's a good example. But what also happened in that game? A lot of fluky turnovers. I wouldn't say their offense is. I wouldn't say their offense is complete. That honestly comes back to like strong offense, weak defense, strong defense, weak offense. Like they don't have a good offense. Like come on, like Big Ben, no run game. It's not. I wouldn't say a complete team.
Yeah, maybe it was better in the beginning.
I'd say the year. I would say they're a more complete team, but they're really not a complete team. Like their offense, they definitely are a more complete team, but like barely.
Yeah, but they aren't a complete. I see your point. Because but like you got to look at the reason. Like the Steelers are such an interesting team because, just looking at them on paper, you'd think, oh, this team's probably like 7-9 or 9-7 at best. But like you got to think they went 11-0, and like their schedule wasn't pretty easy. But I mean, I don't know. Like they looked good at the beginning of the year. They had Benny Snell played good like the first 2 games, then fell off. James Conner fell off. They stopped running the ball. They started passing doing these risky passes. Claypool kind of died down. Juju kind of died down. So I think the thing with the Steelers is like they ran out of gas like after week 11. Like they were Super Bowl favorites.
Oh yeah. Titans Ravens, right? Wild card. People went into that game, right? I was like doing like all these polls on like Instagram or whatever, right? Everyone had the Titans winning, right? Just because of Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, right? What happened in that game? Right? The Ravens won. Why? Number one rushing offense, top 5 offense in general, top 5 defense in general, right? Titans, what are they? They probably have like a top 6 offense, maybe, and like their defense is horrible. That anyone could exploit their defense, right? So it's just like it's another example, right? Like complete teams win games, like no matter what side of the ball you're on, right? That's why honestly, that's why I think the NFC will prevail this year in the Super Bowl champion, just because they're a more complete team. Like, you go back to that Super Bowl last year, yeah, 49ers may have been a more complete team, but not by a lot, right? Their offense wasn't good. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo is not the answer for the 49ers. Like, straight up, like, he's not the answer. Like, they maybe were a more complete team just because the Chiefs' defense wasn't amazing, but they weren't by a lot. Like, I wouldn't even consider them a complete.
Also, you got to remember that Super Bowl did have some like you said, like kind of fluky turnovers, and stupid like plays both ends, I think. But I mean, like Jimmy G threw some interceptions, especially that one at the end. Like, then like
and then they overthrew Emmanuel Sanders on the touchdown.
Exactly, yeah. And he
just can't have those type of games. Like,
he reminds me of Kaepernick.
Yeah,
like Kaepernick in 2012 or whatever. Like, he literally missed out on so many opportunities to beat the Ravens. Like, he overthrew Crabtree that time. Like, you got to look at the quarterback's a big factor and like their clutchness, because you can be the more complete team, right? But if you look at last year, Titans Ravens, right? In the was it the wild card of the divisional round? I think it was the divisional round.
I think divisional.
It was the divisional round. Ravens were the complete team, right? Lamar, MVP. They were like the best team in the league. And what does Lamar do? He does a bunch of stupid plays and they lose the game.
He fucked up.
Another example, yeah.
See, but that's where also your point comes in, where it's like a stronger offense wins. Like Derrick Henry came into that postseason hot. Like, this man was like a man on a mission. Like, he came into that season, he's like, yeah, I'm almost blow these dudes up. Like, that's what he did. Like, he went in, exploited the Ravens defense. Titans won. So I mean, like, yeah, like there's instances where it's like, if the QB doesn't play well and the team doesn't play well, then the worst team will win, right?
Yeah.
Jets, Rams didn't play well. Jets took advantage. Jets won the game. But more times than not, the more complete team will win, right? If an NFC team and AFC team battle each other, right? Like, let's say the Saints Bucks, right? Or a healthy Rams team, right? A complete offense, complete defense. If they played an AFC game, right? If the quarterback doesn't do well, right? If Breeze does not play well, if Tom Brady doesn't play well, or Jared Goff plays how Jared Goff plays, then the AFC team is gonna win, because a quarterback wins games, right? Like, quarterback, most important position of the in football. But if they're all playing to their max standards, NFC team would win, because more complete offenses would win, or more complete teams. If you're playing to the max of your abilities, right? If you're playing the best of the best, a more complete team would win. But there's instances where a team doesn't play to their level, where the other team exploits them and they win.
I would
like Ravens Titans last year.
2 years ago, Rams Patriots. The Rams were the more complete team. The Patriots had a lot of question marks, right? Like, their offense. There were arguments that Brady had no receivers, right? And I still agree with that. When he was in his last year.
You're talking about
I'm talking about Rams. The Super Bowl. The Rams were the more complete team, but they couldn't get their offense going.
No, bro. The Patriots were the more complete. Patriots had the number one defense that year, and a top 3 offense.
Yeah, true. But I think the Rams.
Brady had. I mean, Jared Goff is Jared Goff. I won't say that he did. But he did have a really good
quarterback than Goff.
I think.
Like you said, like, quarterbacks win games, and so I think that would be a good example, because if you look at the Rams' offense, their offense had, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, like a bunch of like great receivers. But Jared Goff is
I'll give you that. Like,
Jared Goff's just simply not as good as Tom Brady,
Yeah, like, no one matches the GOAT. But like, when you have Tom Brady, Rob Gronk, Julian Edelman, like, on offense, and then you have the number one defense in the league, right? Honestly, that's a more complete team. They played more complete, Rams, they did put up a fight. That was a boring ass Super Bowl too, because of, like, it was literally a defensive battle. Like, number 1 defense versus number 2 defense. It was boring as hell. Like, unless you're a DB, you don't want to watch that. You don't want to watch that Super Bowl. I was bored as hell.
I was boring.
Like, I was so close to turning off the TV and just going watching YouTube. This shit was boring. Yeah. The Rams, first of all, didn't even deserve to be there. Saints would have won the Super Bowl if the Saints win.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have won. I think the Saints, if they didn't get, like, screwed over by the call, they would have won that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, that call's funny, but yeah, I see your point. Like, I can't believe that happened to this day. Breeze had so many opportunities. You look at the Minnesota Miracle or whatever.
Minneapolis Miracle.
I think he could have won the Super Bowl that year. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. The Eagles, I think
Minnesota was a better team that year. But Nick Foles just came out of nowhere and just slapped them all, bro.
Yeah, actually, I think the Eagles would have won, but I think it would have been a close game because Drew Brees.
Yeah.
I mean, no. Drew Brees is a better quarterback than Foles, but that year.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was playing basketball, right? And this is on a Sunday. And so I'm like, oh, Vikings beat the Saints. I made this bold prediction too. I'm like, oh, Eagles playing with a backup quarterback. Like, no, they're gonna get killed by the Vikings, right? We just beat like a dominant Saints team, right? I'm playing basketball. I come on the sidelines, check my phone. The score's 21-3, and the Eagles are winning. I'm like, bro, what is happening right now? Like, Nick Foles is legit balling, and Kirk Cousins is like being garbage. Right? I'm like, what the hell is actually happening right now? Yeah. And I finished playing, right, and the Eagles won the game. Like, I'm like, bro, what? Like,
yeah,
there's actually like anything could happen. Like, I'll give you, like, Minnesota was the more complete team in that year.
We're so good,
but Kirk Cousins didn't play well. Eagles take advantage of it. Eagles won. Like,
I mean, that team. I had the Vikings winning the Super Bowl. Well, I had the Patriots winning the Super Bowl over the Vikings. I remember I made a prediction about it on the video, and because you look at the Vikings, like, okay, they had Rudolph, right? They had Stephon Diggs. It's just crazy. Like, and it's another example. Like, imagine Case Keenum beating Nick Foles. It would be it's so crazy. But yeah, because they're both like backups.
I think when the championship games were set up, Chiefs, Patriots, Vikings, Saints. No, it wasn't Vikings, Saints. I'm stupid. It was Rams, Saints, right? Rams, yeah. Vikings, one of the two. I don't know. I think it was Rams, Saints. Yeah, it was Rams, Saints. I think the Super Bowl that everybody wanted that year was Chiefs, Rams because of how awesome that Monday night game was previously in that season.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the matchup it should have been was Vikings I keep saying the Vikings. It should have been Saints and Chiefs.
Saints Chiefs for sure.
Both teams got screwed. Both teams got screwed in that AFC Championship. So I feel like we got screwed with like the worst possible matchup out of the Final Four. And
yeah.
I don't know. I just like at that point it seemed kind of sus because of course it had to be like two of the biggest sports markets in America facing each other. That's more revenue for the NFL. I don't know. I'm not here to say the league is rigged because I don't think it's rigged. But some days it feels like really that just had to happen, right?
Yeah, and also the World Series in Boston, LA too. I mean, that's kind of I don't know. And also you got to remember that the refs were bailing out Brady that entire game in the AFC Championship game with the Chiefs and the Patriots. They were bailing out. Right.
One call D Ford got for roughing the passer. The dude swiped Brady's helmet. It was like, are you fucking kidding me? That's a rough. I mean, that was just pathetic. I was pissing me off too. That wasn't on. That was on Chris Jones. That wasn't on D Ford. That was a penalty on Chris Jones.
Yeah, he barely touched him. I remember he maybe tried to maybe make a sack or touch the ball.
No, it was him trying to deflect the ball. He was trying to hit Brady's arm, so it screwed up his pass, and he missed his arm, hit the side of his helmet. Nope, that's a roughing the passer, man. No, that was such BS, and everybody knew it. And that's why every time you see Chris Jones play Tom Brady, Chris Jones always talks so much shit in his face. It's because Chris Jones is still pissed off about it to this day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the league is rigged either. I think that's kind of stupid. How I think people say that it is
just because it'd be so losing. Hard to rig. It'd be so hard.
Yeah, how do you rig that? Football is so unpredictable. You could drop a pass, you could catch a pass, you could be out of bounds. I don't think football is rigged, but I do think. I mean, I talked about this last week. The Tuck rule with the Raiders. We all know that it wasn't rigged, but it was definitely favoritism. They made up a new rule on the spot. A rule no one's ever heard of before on the spot. That isn't being rigged, but that definitely is favoritism affecting the game's outcome. And I think that's the same thing that happened to the Chiefs with, the league loves Brady. They only suspended him 4 games for cheating for a reason. They had to suspend him one
Yeah.
after the other. The league loves Tom Brady. He makes money for the league. I don't know if he's basically anymore, but he was for, 2 decades. So, yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's the speech.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I think that's it as far as like the stream itself goes. I don't know what you guys are doing for the next couple minutes, but if you want to stay on Discord for a bit longer, you can do that. But yeah, I think we've covered everything. Kind of gotten off topic a bit. We got on for an hour and 40 minutes now, according to this. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and end this. So thank you guys for watching. We'll be back probably Saturday, because both championship games next weekend are on Sunday. So you'll probably see a stream on Friday or Saturday, I imagine. And yeah, just thank you for tuning in, man. This is Chiefs Rays Bolts here, joined alongside Kanav, who doesn't have a YouTube channel, so cannot shout him anything out on anything. But Casey here does have a YouTube channel, AsRaidersDubsSharks. If you want to go check him out, feel free to. He's got good content, you know what I mean? Good content. So for the Oakland sports teams and such. So yeah, all right. Well, that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and peace out.